latest on Tropical Storm Danace, which is now heading towards the north to the east of the Batanes Islands. It's at 20.3 north, 124.1 degrees east at 8 p.m. Philippine time this July 17th, with winds of 40 miles per hour and a pressure of 992 millibars. The CDPS rating is for Okinawa now, as the storm's likely to head towards that way, and huge amounts of rainfall could fall over the Japanese Ryukyu Islands. Coupled with quite a large wind field makes it a stage 4 on the CDPS right now, extensive damage possible. Here is the storm's location and that big wind field. Still only 40 miles per hour, however, and a pressure of 992 millibars there, and likely to proceed towards the north over the next few days. It's 134 miles from Basco, 281 from Ishigaki, 287 from Kaohsiung in Taiwan, 298 from Hualien, and 319 from Miyakojima in the Ryukyu Islands. Warnings are in place for all of these areas, a typhoon warning for some parts of Taiwan on the east coast. In the Philippines, a Signal 2 warning still in effect for the Batanes Islands, and a Gale Advisories for the southernmost Japanese islands there, depicted on the screen. Looking at the rainfall projection in the next 7 days then, you can see what's likely to happen here. This is the GFS going through the run here. Danace moving off towards the north, so those pink areas near Japan are those huge amounts of rain which could reach in excess of 250 millimeters. You'll also see on that projection there large amounts of rain towards the west as well and over Taiwan. That is from another part of what became Danace, which is now in the South China Sea and could develop into a tropical cyclone in its own right. Sea surface temperatures in the area are very warm, around 29, maybe even 30 degrees Celsius underneath Danace, and that will continue for another day or two at the least. Sea surface temperatures are warm all the way up halfway through the South China Sea. So you can see Danace heading off towards the north there by this point, moving through the Japanese islands, Okinawa in particular, getting tropical storm force winds. And then you can see another little system there which moves into Taiwan at the end of this week. That could be another storm, and both of them shoot off towards the north. You can't see it on this projection anymore, but Danace ends up heading towards the South Korean coastline and possibly brushes it on the eastern side before heading off towards Russia as potentially a post-tropical cyclone. These are the chances of tropical storm force winds now. 76% at Ishigaki, 69% at Miyakojima, 44% at Kumejima just west of Okinawa, 40% at Yilan in Taiwan, and 38% on the island of Jeju in South Korea. This is what the models are depicting right now, the HWRF calling for an eventual typhoon, but all the other models staying well below that threshold, and that's probably what will happen. Wind shear is remaining very high at the minute, but will start to decrease to moderate levels. Sea surface temperatures will begin to drop soon. The HWRF you might want to discount because it's completely thrown off the scent with where the storm's expected to go there. It's going to quite comfortably, I should think, pass east of Taiwan. Here is the imagery. You can actually see on that visible where the daylight has just faded now over the area, but it looks to be going just towards the northeast now, which is certainly interesting. And this is how it's looking. It is exposed, so not much convection around it at this time. Projections from the models suggest that it will absorb Invest 90W just towards the east of it, but not 91W to the west. As I said, could develop into its own storm. That's all for now. We'll have more updates in the next few hours. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. You can also contact me on Discord. It's Fool13 at extension 9094 and Force13 on Skype. You can also find our server link to our Discord server for tropical weather chat in our description.